blue.
My parents, they just went to pick him up. We're on our way to go see the new Elvis movie, and I should have shot a picture of the house.
Yeah,
But yeah, they just got the house painted. First time the house has been painted in
I
like
think so. Yeah,
a
for a
couple of
while.
decades, probably. I think the house has only been three different colors now. It was brown originally, then you painted it. It was kind of a sky, very light
Very
blue,
light blue.
and
Now
now
it
it's definitely a much brighter blue. I'll have to show you what it looks like.
it looks like that.
That's no brighter than that. That's more of a darker-ish blue, a brighter blue. You have to see. But we are on our way. It's been a while since we've gone out to see a movie, any kind of movie. But now we're heading out to see the new Elvis film. I think it just opened yesterday. So last night was the opening day, but today's decided to go hit an early show
Yep.
this morning.
Before you go to your
Or I
convention,
head to the
the
volleyball
nationals. Yeah.
national championships in Indianapolis, so I thought we could squeeze this in. Kind of a late Father's Day. We were going to go see a movie last weekend for Father's Day, but then I was going to tell you I wanted to take you to the Top Gun movie until my sister spoiled the surprise, and she said, "Oh yeah, Norb's already seen that movie." Like what? My parents don't like going to see movies that somebody's already seen before, so we skipped that one. But this is the one my dad really wanted to see.
That's right.
So
Big Elvis fan.
So how big of a fan, or how long have you been an Elvis fan, Dad? Because I know that my memories of Elvis growing up was we had an 8-track player in the house, and we had one Elvis tape, and it had four programs. I want to say about 8 songs or maybe 10 songs per program, so probably 40 songs on
Yeah.
repeat. So I got to know Elvis listening to that 8-track tape. But you were a fan of Elvis long before that.
Ever since, even when I was in college. So in 1956, 1956, can you imagine that?
In the
And in the
Philippines.
Philippines, we used to sing a lot of Elvis songs. I love to sing those songs. I had a little, we had a little gig, little kind of band. With for the bass, for example, we had this the gasoline drum. You know, have you ever seen that one?
Yeah, like a jug band.
Yeah, it's
So
pretty
so
good. So
so it actually played it. Actually played it. It wasn't just a prop. You mean it actually played it for
no,
real?
it's actually
It actually played the notes.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh,
you could
I don't know
string and
about the notes, but you just keep. I
pre-
mean,
pretending.
but but I love Elvis because you know I don't know the Elvis fever hit the Philippines. That's why we have a lot of Elvis Presley impersonator.
Hmm.
And they were pretty good too. So I watched most of his movies even before. You know, so I even my car is only plays Elvis. You
It's
know,
tuned into the Elvis channel. It's
Elvis
Sirius
radio, Sirius
XM
XM.
radio, Elvis channel
Yeah.
all the time. So there's probably not a single Elvis song that you've never heard
Well,
because
actually,
although he
sometimes it surprises me. There are some songs that I have not heard. In fact, like Mom, I said, I haven't heard this song. Yeah,
it's amazing considering you have it on all the time that you could
yeah,
actually keep hearing something that you haven't heard
right.
at least one time before. But
Now,
then
he's
again,
got a lot of songs that he recorded, just like Prince, I guess. I'm waiting for Prince. Yeah, they said that he's got a lot of songs. Maybe as many as Elvis did. Yeah,
yeah, there's a lot of, well, I know besides the albums, there's also live recordings that they'll air,
yeah,
sort of rehearsal recordings or raw recordings that weren't necessarily
yeah.
released to the, on an album. So, and I think there's a lot of material like that by Prince. Oh yeah, and then the Graceland experience. So
Oh,
tying into the whole Elvis fandom, back in 2017, when we saw the schedule that the Seahawks were going to Tennessee to play the Titans, I
New
told my dad,
Orleans, New
like,
Orleans.
no, that was a different trip. New Orleans was
Oh,
different, but the Tennessee,
oh yeah, Tennessee.
we
Yeah,
yeah, the
you're
Titans.
right.
We looked at that schedule and said, oh, they're going to be in Tennessee. You know what else is in Tennessee, Dad?
Yep, yep,
Graceland is
Memphis.
there, and so we decided we got to go to this game, and then while we're in Tennessee, we got to go watch or go to visit Graceland because you've never
Which we
been there
did.
before.
Unfortunately, this was some a time where you had your hamstring kind of messed up.
Well, so what happened was that was the week before that trip. We played the 49ers, and I remember I was wearing my green Seahawks suit. And I went to that game, and then from there I went straight to your fundraising
Yep, on the
dinner.
5.
And so I was
Yeah,
set to
it's
perform a Bruno Mars song for dinner entertainment later in the evening. But the problem was I'd been sitting around all day at the stadium. Then I drove all the way over, sat around waiting for my turn, and then when I finally came to perform, I was not warmed up at all. I hadn't been moving. I'd been sitting the whole time, and so when I went to do the Bruno Mars slash James Brown type of splits move,
oh my
I
God.
went so far deep, the hamstring went beyond its flexibility point, and I tore it while I was performing.
But nobody knew.
Because I didn't want it to show. I was, the show must go on, act like nothing's wrong, even though I was
In
in
pain.
intense pain. So after that, then I had it diagnosed. I knew I did something to it. It was turned out to be torn, and my leg, I had all this internal bleeding, inside. But I wasn't going to not go to this trip. So unfortunately, I had to go around Tennessee on crutches the whole time.
Yeah, no.
But that didn't stop us from going to
Graceland.
Graceland.
Yes.
We met our friends out there, Romadel
Ramadan de las Alas.
de
Yeah.
Salas. He was kind of host us and made the trip with us as well because he lives out in Tennessee. And what was your memories of visiting Graceland?
Well, it's beautiful because, we had a tour of the mansion itself. That was really interesting. And of course, as you go through the whole mansion, the house, people will tell you what it is, and even his family and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It was
things that
pretty
happen.
interesting.
What unique things happen in
Yep,
certain rooms? Sometimes there are rooms where they recorded a certain
yep.
song and things like
I
that.
didn't realize that Elvis recorded a lot of songs in that house during they call it the jungle room.
Yeah,
You
that's that
know,
kind of purple velvet,
yep,
wasn't it? Kind of room.
yep. And he spent a lot of times with all of his friends.
Hmm.
And, of course, you've heard that when Elvis started getting kind of famous and rich, he bought a Cadillac for every member of his entourage.
Hmm.
He was giving away Cadillacs like crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think he made the Cadillac famous too.
I'm sure it didn't hurt their reputation to have
Yep,
Cadillac associated with the Elvis brand.
yep. I'll tell you, yesterday coming home, because I was in a installation dinner for another Lions Club, the Rainier Lions Club. On the way back, as I said, my radio is always tuned into XM Elvis radio. They were interviewing the actors, the directors
Oh, of the film
of the film,
that we're
and
about to see.
I missed a lot, but there was a part in there, and I didn't realize Tom Hanks
Oh, that's yeah.
he played the Colonel,
Well,
Colonel Parker.
now isn't he the manager or something? I saw the
No,
trailer, so I don't even know who that
no,
actually
oh
is.
yeah, Colonel Parker. He was the genius planner of Elvis.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, without him, Elvis would not have been well known.
So was he like the publicist or the agent?
No,
Or
he was the he was the agent. You know, he was the agent.
okay, well, we're gonna learn a lot about that because I think this movie, obviously Tom Hanks, probably the biggest name in the film,
Right.
is while Elvis is the star, the story probably really focuses around how Tom Hanks as Colonel, what's his name, Colonel
Colonel Parker.
Parker,
Yeah.
found Elvis and started to craft his career. So I think that's what's going to be interesting about this
Yeah,
film.
it's gonna be nice.
This biopic that tells the story of how he found Elvis and
Yeah.
brought him to fame.
Exactly. And after the interview, the one that I was able to catch up with, they were asking questions from the audience, and one question that one lady from some place asked is what was asking Tom Hanks actually, what was more difficult, being he was asking the director or the producers, is what was more difficult, researching about the legendary Elvis or the legendary Tom Hanks? You know,
Mm-hmm.
and that was pretty good answer actually, because the actor or the director did not know much about Elvis
Oh, before
before
taking
this
on this
thing.
film.
Yes, and he was able, and he didn't know much about Tom Hanks either, but he heard about it then, and it's surprisingly in one of the parties, Tom Hanks actually agreed to be in that movie. You
And
know,
that's huge. I'm sure that
that is
when Tom
huge.
Hanks decided to take it on, that
Yeah, he was
probably led to the
surprised.
green light of that film
In
because
fact, in
getting a big star like him.
it's because the producer or the researcher was trying to tell people about the movie that they were producing. It has been in works for the past what 4 years,
Mm.
but then the pandemic kind of messed them
Right,
up and
right.
all those good things. So he was saying something like when he was in a party, they're talking about this movie, and apparently how he asked Tom Hanks if he wanted to be a part of the movie, and he didn't even realize that Tom Hanks said yes, I will take it, because he said after that he told his assistant, "What did Tom Hanks say? Did he accept?"
He didn't
And
even
he
know.
was so flabbergasted
Oh,
that
that's mm.
So this is gonna be
Yeah,
really nice.
yeah. So I know that I've seen the trailer for it a couple
Really?
times. Yeah,
Okay,
have you
I
seen it
haven't.
yet? You
No,
haven't seen
no, I
anything, so
haven't
you're going
seen it.
into it really clean. So it's interesting because I think we were talking about this film at the house last week when you came over on Father's Day, and we
Oh,
remember. I think Sophie
yeah,
actually said she knew the actor,
yeah,
and you were
right.
asking, does he look like Elvis? And I think he doesn't really. You don't look at him, and I don't think they picked an actor who looked just like Elvis, but
Yeah.
he moves like him. He performs. They show little clips of him performing, and
But here's
the
the
energy
nice
is
part,
good.
Norb. No, they said that they were not allowed, or they did not use any uh, versions of Elvis. I mean, him actually
Oh, like
sing. The
actual.
guy has to actually
Oh, so
sing.
there's no actual footage of the real
Yeah,
Elvis. Yeah,
says
yeah. So they
no
had to shoot
recordings,
everything.
no recordings of Elvis and
So they
stuff
had
like
to.
that.
He had to sing his
He had to
new
sing.
material, and then he had to perform
Right.
everything. There was no cuts to the real Elvis.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
which is
I'm
good.
kind of looking forward to that,
Yeah.
no? Because this is something that the actor was being asked last in this interview. You know, he had to learn all of the songs.
Yeah.
And I guess to perform also like Elvis
Sure.
did. So
Yeah,
we'll
yeah. He had
see.
to do
I'm
his
really
research.
excited about this
And
movie.
from the footage I've seen, it looks good. I mean, he performs. It's very exciting watching the montages of clips. But what are your favorite songs? They like going into this movie. I'm sure part of it is the anticipation of what songs is he going to perform. So what would
Yeah.
be on your like top five of? I hope
My,
he performs these songs in the movie.
oh yeah, don't be cruel. It's now or never. Can't help falling in love. You know, with blue suede shoes and all
Hmm.
those good things. I
Hmm.
mean, there's a lot of
I know
favorite
it's
songs.
hard to pick a favorite when there's so many.
Hard. It's
Hmm.
hard.
Which one, Mom? King Creole.
King Creole, yeah.
Hound Dog, that's a famous
Oh
one.
yeah. Yeah,
Jailhouse Rock,
that's the most. That's the
that's
one
up
that
there.
kind of made him really good
But I
among.
thought it was actually what was the one that remember the controversial one where he appeared on the Ed Sullivan show, and he
Oh,
was doing such his gyrations,
I
and I
know.
think they were
That
even
was the
told
first song.
the director because it was controversial at the time. They said don't shoot him from the waist down, just
Yeah,
shoot him waist up because we don't want to get in trouble showing these
gyrations.
these
Yeah.
very erotic moves on television. And so I don't remember what the song was. It might have been Hound Dog. I'm not sure which song it was, but
No, it
do you
wasn't.
remember
It
which
was
one?
this. It was this pots and when he talks about all the pots, uh, everything in the what do you call this, in the kitchen.
Yeah.
It's shake, rattle, and roll.
Oh, Shake,
That's
Rattle,
what
and
it is.
Roll. Okay, so that's what it was.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty good
Well,
actually.
yeah, it's gonna be.
But what kind of the story there before that I thought it was the whole story is that when he recorded his first song, I think it's Heartbreak Hotel or something like that, and the DJ was playing it as a background thing only, and all of a sudden, oh, the phone rang. Says, "Why don't you play that the background music again?" And he played it, and he played it, and it never stopped playing.
So that's the first one that kind of
Yeah,
got
the
on the
first
air.
one that
Was
kind of
Heartbreak Hotel.
yeah. If that Heartbreak Hotel is it's another one that. Yeah, but I think it was Heartbreak Hotel. We'll see
Well,
in the
we're
movie.
going to find out soon because we're
We're gonna.
pulling into the AMC here at South Center, the theater we usually go to.
Yep. That's
Yeah,
right.
very
And
early.
this
Yeah,
is the early. I think it's the earliest movie I can remember ever going to, a 9:10 Pacific time movie. But
Yep.
we had to do it early because we're getting ready to fly out tonight. So we got a lot of final packing and things to do. So
Right. And
figure if we do it this morning, we'll have plenty of time to
yeah,
get rid of
I know
this stuff
we
later.
had just breakfast, but ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have
We're getting
popcorn.
popcorn, of course. The movie isn't the same without popcorn.
All
So,
right, we'll
all
connect
right.
with you
Well,
later on
maybe we'll do
after
it.
the
Maybe on the way
movie.
home we'll do a review
Yep.
of the movie
Yeah.
Elvis. All
All
right.
right.
You guys have a great day. Talk to you guys soon.